Welcome back to the channel, you Kurd nerds. Today we've got yet another exciting unboxing and review. Today we're going to be talking about the HoneyComb Alpha. And again, I apologize for making a video about these when, well, they're out of stock. I've been trying to buy one in stock for a while, and I had to pick this thing up used. Thanks to y'all's help, by the way. This thing does come with a 5-year warranty, which is absolutely amazing. I'm probably not going to get that warranty, but it does work on Windows and Mac. The reason I'm probably not going to get that warranty is because I did pick this thing up secondhand. So let's look at the back of the box, and you can see on the back of the box we got plenty of buttons. I'm trying to shadow the glare so you can see. Either way, we're gonna see it when we open the box. It's got the nice mount. It's got all the switches that you're ever gonna need. You could really just use the HoneyComb Alpha for most airplanes if you've got some other throttle quadrant, like a Cytec or some other Logitech or what have you. But without further ado, let's dig into the box. So right as soon as you open the box, you've got the clamps. And again, I will say these clamps are only about 2.5 inches fully opened. And, some people may say that that's plenty. You don't need any more than 2.5 inches. But others would say that that's inadequate. Either way, if your desk is thicker than 2.5 inches, you're going to need, a different desk or different mounts. So there's the mounting plate that actually sits on top of your desk. There is a sticky pad on the bottom of that in the event that your desk is too thick and you want to permanently affix this to your desk. So here's our documentation. It's pretty basic. It's pretty straightforward. It's a yoke. All right. It comes with some things. I don't think we really need to dig into that. Apparently, this yoke comes in the Gleim virtual cockpit. And of course, it works with X-Plane and all the other simulators that you would expect it to work with, like Prep Air 3D, Microsoft Flight Sim, X-Plane, etc. But let's dig into the box and check out the actual unit itself. Now, this thing, I'm not gonna lie, it's a hefty boy. It's a hefty boy. It was actually a little bit of struggle to get this thing out of the box, gracefully, so that I didn't bump the camera and everything. So let's get this out of its bag. It's a little unwieldy to get it out of the bag, if I do say so. But we're getting it. We're getting it. We're getting it. I know I couldn't fight my way out of a paper bag if I tried, but here we are. It is completely out of the bag. For the love of God, that took embarrassingly a long amount of time. But as I said, it's heavy. It's hefty. I'm kind of concerned about my IKEA desk right now. But it does have some amazing trim switches. These are the exact same trim switches that you would expect in most general aviation airplanes with electric trim. They're the split switch, so that even if you just momentarily bump one of the switches, it's not going to activate it, right? On the back, of course, you've got some USB. You got all your switches. I'm trying real hard to show you the switches. It's kind of difficult given that the yoke is there. But there's your magneto switch. I do wish that it was spring loaded back to center. So just be careful with that. It will keep your starter engaged. But then you've got all the other lights that you'll ever need, beacon, landing, etc. There's not really a whole lot else on this device. You've got a little button right there to actuate the LEDs, and that's really it. The last thing in the box is actually this little Ethernet cable that connects the yoke itself to the base so that those buttons and switches and hat switches can actually work. So let's get into Microsoft Flight Sim and check it out. Thanks to Desktop Pilot support, I'm able to show y'all how to actually operate aircraft with panels that resemble the actual aircraft. So here we've got the ignition panel with a number of switches. Here we've even got a flap handle. So thanks to Desktop Pilot, we're going to have some amazing level of instruction on this channel. So go check them out at, I believe it's desktoppilot.com/shop. to go check out all the stuff they have for sale. All right, here we are with everything all set up and hooked up to the desk. As you can see, we already have the HoneyComb Bravo hooked up to the desk. And if you look up here, there should be a little button for you to click to go check out our unboxing and review of the HoneyComb Bravo. But without further ado, let's start talking about the HoneyComb
Alpha. This thing is such a buttery smooth yoke. The pitch is a little stiffer than I would like. Maybe over time that spring will wear out. But as you can see, we've got all the buttons and switches and whatnot that we would ever need when it comes to flying an aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim. And without further ado, let's get into everybody's favorite training aircraft. I mean, the DC-3. That's what y'all got your multi-engine in, right? The DC-3? No. That's yeah, me neither. I don't think anybody got their multi-engine in a DC-3. But here we are. Everything is all set up and working. As you can see, we can control our landing lights. We can control our beacon. We can control our taxi lights. We can control most lights. And we have got our props on this. As you can see, our props are coming back. We can check feather, and they work. Let's go ahead and give it a little bit of juice. Yeah, look, there it goes. There it goes. All right. I think without further ado, let's go ahead and release our parking brake and get on out of here. We're currently taking off from Williams Gateway. This is actually where I did all of my primary flight training. So let's pitch back, keep pressure on that tail. Now, what I do want to make sure y'all know, the HoneyComb Alpha and Bravo have absolutely no yaw controls. There is not a single button on this thing that can be set up to be used as a yaw axis. So just make sure, oh God, the DC-3 is actually kind of tough to take off. Make sure you have rudder pedals. If you are going to be buying this, make sure you've got rudder pedals, or else you are going to have a very poor experience with this system. Now, our trim button works just like it should. We can start bringing our flaps up, and we could start climbing out in a DC-3. Now, again, I want to make sure everybody is aware, I have not had to do any control setup. This is the thing working right out of the box. I have not had to do any mapping. I am purely flying a DC-3 with the stock configuration in Microsoft Flight Sim. What other control setup, what other joystick, what other control system can you say just works? Because even the TCA Thrustmaster Captain Pack, you know, the one for the Airbus, the one specifically for the Airbus that looks and functions just like the Airbus actual controls, like the controls in the actual Airbus, even that one requires setup. This thing, nothing. No setup required whatsoever. It is absolutely wonderful to just be able to plug it in and everything works. And I really gotta say, there isn't many other systems that are like that. Unless you can find one. If you've got one, please let me know in the comments down below. And again, I want to say thank you to all of y'all for supporting the channel, liking, following, subscribing. Not just on here, but the other social media platforms as well. Because that's the only reason we can afford to get setups like this and show them off so that you guys can really make those decisions on whether or not you want to purchase something like this. Because it is expensive. Even secondhand, this costs you about $400 or $500. Brand new, it's going to cost you about $600 with shipping, and that's saying when they come back in stock. These things have been out of stock for a while. All right, so let me know what other controls you guys want to see. I'm really just trying to ramble on until we can get set up for a landing. Let's go ahead and bring some power back out. We're going to drop a notch of flaps, drop some gear, get some nose trim, help get the aircraft start slowing down. We've got a pretty Pretty steep descent rate. I don't think I want a descent rate that steep. We've got gear down. I have no idea what a DC-3 stalls at. Hopefully it's less than 100. Or even what blue line is. Oh, we're not even base. There we go. There we go. Now, I absolutely love the trim on this. The trim on this is wonderful. The wheel is okay. The wheel on this is it's okay. It leaves a little bit to be desired, but this trim switch, this split trim switch, it functions exactly like a CRJ 200's trim switch. Looks like we're high, at least according to those pappies. I don't know how much I believe those pappies. Let's dogleg it in a bit. Let's go for another notch of flaps. We got our flaps all the way down, props full forward. Let's bring some more power out, increase our descent rate. Stabilize by 1,000, right? Oh, you can hear the engine's misfiring because I brought it back to idle. That is awesome. Let's bring that power back up. And touch down like butter. Oh, floating. There we go. Who needs center line? Oh shit, we took back off. This is gonna go bad. We're good. We're good. So, if you are wondering about whether or not you should be picking up the, I just ran off the runway. You should be picking up the Thrustmaster Alpha Bravo when they do happen to come back in stock. The answer is yes. Yes, you should be picking up the Thrustmaster Alpha and Bravo, especially if you plan on training, right? This is an amazing training tool for you student pilots out there. Maybe not for private pilot, but instrument. This would be an amazing tool to use for your instrument training. So, if you've got any questions about any of the stuff we covered, make sure you leave it in the comments. And as always, keep it cheesy.